Hello everyone, it is 8:35 on Friday morning. I would usually be teaching, so I thought I'd give you a little bum blast. You may or may not want to join in. It is a little bit dark in here, so sorry about the lighting because it's a bit drab outside, but let's get going. Okay, so if you need any cushions or anything, let me just make sure my volume's up, there you go. For knees or wrists, please get them, okay? I am going to get you to just come onto your hands and knees, and we'll just do a few cat-cows just to warm up your back a little bit. Exhale, draw the abs in, tuck the tailbone under, let the head drop down towards the floor. Inhale, drop the ribs down, lift the tailbone, lift the chin. And again, exhale, just curl into the movement nice and slow first thing in the morning. So you just stretch your back, get a little bit more mobile, and just feel your way into it. One more. Fabulous. Now, I'm going to get you to stay here on your knees. So if you watched my back extension little video the other day, just make sure that your back isn't hanging down like this. I want you to think of your back long and straight, okay? Now, can you see how my head is sticking up? I want your head to be down so your neck is in line with your spine as you do these exercises. So as much as you can, if you can listen to me rather than watching me, it will be great. So if your wrists are dodgy, come down onto your forearms. Either way, forearms or hands, I want you to be pushing down into the ground to lift your upper body out of the ground and take the weight away from your wrists and shoulders, okay? Now, draw your abs in. You're going to slide out your right leg behind you. Sorry, I've come a little bit too far backwards. There you go. Just slide it along the floor. Yeah, your back should stay exactly where it is, no dipping down. And from there, I want you to reach out long with your toes, as long as you can, so that you feel all the way along the leg, all the way up to the hip, not just lifting it up. If I lift my leg up like that, I don't feel much at all. If I lift my leg up like that, I just feel it in my back. If I keep my back straight and lengthen the leg long, 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 everything is feeling it. Now, upper body, whether you're on your hands or your forearms, I want you to draw your arms back toward your waist, keep that length through your leg, and then let's go. So draw the abs in, exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Now, can you see, you're allowed to look at me for 2 seconds, how my leg isn't going that far, okay? So if you lift up higher, there's only so far you can go without your back naturally having to move. I want you to go to the point where your back is still and you feel your glutes working. And can you see how my leg doesn't come back down to the floor that much? So that is to keep that muscle working through your glutes, through your hamstrings, as much as we can. It will feel harder, but that's why you're here, of course. So keep going for 4 more. Draw the abs in, draw the pelvic floor up, and think of your sit bones drawing together. Last 2 and last 1. Hold it there. Just have a look down at your left leg and make sure that it's not sticking out to the side. I want you to be evenly balanced over your hands. And if this knee was down on the floor, evenly balanced over both knees, okay? From here, we're going circles with this right leg. Circle inwards towards the midline of the body to start off with. And I want you to keep your circles small and controlled. None of this. Okay, keep your hips and pelvis really still. The smaller and more controlled and keeping your hips and pelvis still, you will start to feel the glutes in both sides. You should feel the whole of the leg. You should still be pushing down into the palms of the hands or the forearms and pulling your triceps back towards your ribs. Drawing up through the abs, breathing, of course. Let's go for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Now I'm going to get you to bend your right knee and bring it up to your right shoulder. Draw the abs in as you do this and then reach away long. Yeah? Draw the abs in, bend the knee, come up to the shoulder and then reach away long. Some of you won't be able to get the knee to the shoulder. It will more come down here. But think of that knee coming up and around rather than down by your belly. You should feel both sides by now. Drawing the abs in, pelvic floor drawing up. Exhale as the knee comes to the shoulder. Inhale as you lengthen long. Okay, every time you lengthen, I want you to imagine your foot and head are being pulled away from each other. Let's go for 4 more. And last 2. And 1. Hold it there. Opposite way with the circle, so you can circling away from your midline of your body now. Watch that your leg doesn't start to drop down towards the floor. Keep that length, keep the lower back nice and still, hips and pelvis steady, drawing up through the pelvic floor, in through the sit bones. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Let's go for 4 more. And last 1. And then let that knee drop down. Sit back to your heels and just reach out your arms. Have a little breather. And then coming back onto your hands and knees, or hands and forearms, whichever is good for you. Same thing again. Slide out that leg behind you. Make sure that this right leg this time is straight down towards the floor, not sticking out to the side. Draw the abs in, press down into your palms and then lift up and lengthen away with that back leg. Okay, exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Nothing should move through your lower back. As you lift the leg, you should be drawing your abdominals in away from the floor. Nice and small, especially that movement on the way down towards the floor should only be like a centimeter going down. If you don't feel it, you're not lengthening away from your body enough and making that movement precise enough. So I can do a little movement like this and not think about lengthening my leg and think about kind of flopping with my arms, and it just doesn't really feel like you're doing much. You can make it so much more by really reaching the leg away from you, pulling the arms down towards you and then drawing the abs in and up. 2 more. And last 1, hold it there. We'll go for the circles inwards towards the midline of your body first of all. Draw the abs in, reach the leg away from you and imagine almost like, you know, a spit roast. Imagine you're circling your leg or foot around that, I don't know even what it's called, the bar, the stick, the prong thing that goes down the middle. Obviously English, not used to barbecuing stuff. Okay, draw the abs in nice and tight. Keep that circle going. Keep it small and precise. Hold it there. Then we're bending the knee, coming up towards the shoulder. Draw the abs in. Exhale as it comes up to the shoulder. Inhale as you lengthen away. Exhale, draw the abs in, come up to the shoulder. Inhale, lengthen away. Now, as you come up towards the shoulder, just be careful that you don't crash onto the floor or towards the side. You want everything else to stay stable and in the same place as that knee comes around. And the only other thing I want you to think about is as you straighten out the leg again, try not to let your back dip like this. Okay, you want to really draw up through the abs, keep the hips and pelvis stable so the lower back doesn't feel it at all. It's just all glutes. Go for 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Hold it there and then circle away from your body. Draw the abs in, keep that circle nice and small, but reach away. Press down into the palms as if you're lifting your body away from the floor. Draw the abs in and reach your foot away from you. Let's go for 4 more again. And last one, brilliant. Bend the knee, sit back onto your heels and just stretch the arms out. Let the legs have a little rest. And then I'm going to get you to come up onto your hands, tuck your toes under, just straighten out the legs and press the heels down towards the floor. Now, depending on how tight you are through the calves, this might be a bit tricky. So feel free to just go 1 foot at a time. Just to ease into those calves a touch. That's it. And then bend one knee, let the hip drop over to one side, and vice versa. Brilliant. And then come down onto your knees and hop over onto your right hand side. You're going to have your hand under your head like this or like this, whichever feels good for you. I'm going to pop it up so I can see you better. Now, if you're on a mat, make sure your hips and spine are lined up against that mat and the feet come back in line with you as well. If you haven't got a mat, it's a great idea to do it up against a wall because you can feel what's happening with that top hip, okay? So from there, I'm going to get you to reach this hip away. Can you see how that lifts my waist up away from the floor? You should be able to get your fingers under there. Draw the abs in. Exhale as you lift that top leg. Inhale as you come down. Now, I want you to pop your hands on your hips and you should feel no movement at all from your hip because it's the leg working within the hip joint that's moving. So everything's happening here in the glutes, yeah? 2 more. And last one. Now, straighten out that leg. I'm going to get you to, let's go for little lifts. Okay. Now, from there, keep reaching this hip away. You can keep your hand on there if that helps. Otherwise, I want you to take your hand up towards the ceiling and just keep going. Now, what you'll feel is, I've got my foot straight. Let me move up a little bit so you can see my foot, sorry. So I've got my foot straight. If you let your foot go floppy and internally rotate your leg so your knee starts to turn down towards the floor and then lift, you're going to find that you feel it straight in the glutes, far more than down the side of the leg. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to keep reaching that hip away and keep your foot as floppy as you can, okay? 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're bringing that leg all the way forward in front of your body in line with the bottom thigh, all the way back, all the way forward. I missed a touch. Up and down we're going to go, and all the way back, okay? Forward, up, down, and back. Now, as you move forward, your hip will want to move with the leg, and I want you to make sure that it doesn't. So if you need to keep your hand there, do so. As you move forward with the leg, draw the abs in, breathe, and then exhale as you go. Exhale Inhale, exhale. If you want to take the arm up, reach it up, make sure it's doing something. If it's not doing something, it's just like hanging out there, flopping around. I'd rather it be reaching that hip away so you really feel that. So you should be feeling the glutes now. The underside of the waist should still be lifted up off the mat. So just keep checking in on those. 2 more. And last one. And then bring your leg all the way forward. Brilliant. Now you're going to lift up, drop down, lift up, drop down, lift up, drop down. Keep going. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. And relax. Give it a slap. Or a pat, I should say, not slap. Okay, so that leg should have felt like it's doing something. If you're feeling that that was super easy, you're not reaching out and you haven't got that hip in the right place to enable the glutes to be really working. You might feel the outside edge of that top leg as well working, which is fine, but predominantly it should be your glutes. Okay, so let's flip over, I should say, onto the other side. I just check that you can see my feet. Okay, so same. Keep your hips, spine and heels all lined up. Reach that top hip away from you and then exhale to lift, inhale to lower. So can you see that my lift isn't that massive? I haven't got a lot of external rotation in this position, but I want you to feel that this area is so still, nothing's moving. If you're able to open wide, can you see how I have to roll to open wider? I want you to make sure that that's not happening for you. Because although you can open wider, there's no point if you're not working the muscles that you want to. Okay, 4 more. Draw the abs in as you lift. Inhale as you lower. So your waist should be lifted up off the floor and that hip reaching away from your shoulder. Next one, hold it up. Keep the thigh where it is and extend the leg. Turn the whole leg downwards. So your knees facing downwards and your foot, is floppy. And then you're coming forward, up, down, and back. Forward, up, down, and back. Now, if you can see my hip now, my waist is dropped down towards the floor. So you should be able to see that there's quite a dip there. If I reach it out long, you can see that this space here extends. I'm going to keep that extended now, and I can tell you, I can feel it so much more in the glutes. So although we're just doing quick blasts, it's worth it, because if you do it properly, you have everything in the right position, you're going to feel it straight away and you don't have to spend hours and hours exercising. So although it's nice to exercise, we have got other things to do. Okay, we keep reaching along and make sure as you bring this top leg forward, it comes out in line with the bottom thigh. 2 more. Make sure your top foot stays floppy as well. Draw the abs in, bring it all the way forward, and you're lifting and lowering, lifting and dropping, I should say. So that drop is like letting go of the muscles, and the muscles have to draw up strongly to stop that leg and foot from touching the floor as you go down. Let's go 4 more, and 3. Last 2 and last 1, and relax, give it a pat. Well done. Okay, last of all, I'm going to roll you over onto your fronts. You don't really need to see my head that much, more the legs. Have your hands under your forehead so your head can relax down onto the floor. I'm just going to keep mine up so that you can hear me better. Reach your legs away from you so you can feel the front of your hips down into the mat. And then I want you to think of drawing up through the pelvic floor, reaching your tailbone toward your toes and rocking the pelvis so that you create a little bit of space through your lower back and you feel that your abs are really drawing up from the floor. Then we're lifting your right leg up towards the ceiling, just as high as you can without your lower back just collapsing, yeah? Draw the abs in again, reach it away, exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower, exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Now, as you lift, I want you to feel like someone's pulling your foot away from you. So it's like a stretch sensation rather than just a lift. And again, your lower back shouldn't be feeling anything. All through the back of the leg and the glutes should be feeling it. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Hold it there, draw the abs in. You're taking the other leg up. Hold it, hold it. If this goes into your lower back, put the right leg down straight away. It shouldn't if your abs are engaged and your legs are long. Take the right leg down towards the floor. Keep reaching the left leg long and then exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep going, reach that leg long. Every time you lift, think pelvic floor draws in, abs draw gently up. The hips are down towards the floor, the lower back is long, and you're reaching the leg away from you more than up high. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Hold it there. Draw the abs in. Draw the pelvic floor up. Reach both feet away from you. You should be able to feel your back working a little bit, but it shouldn't be sore. If it's feeling a little bit dodgy, bring the legs down a little lower. If that still feels dodgy for you, bring your feet down onto the floor. Otherwise, we're going turn out, heels together, and little clicks of your heels. Think the Wizard of Oz. So keep the thighs lifted off the mat. So as you can see, it's easy for your thighs to drop down and you'll hear it on the floor or the mat. I want you to lift them up so you can't really hear it. You'll feel it through your glutes, through the legs, and through your back now because your back extensors are working. Let's go 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Brilliant. Come up onto your hands and knees and just bring your knees out wide, heels together. Sit back onto your heels and stretch the arms long. Let your head relax down onto the mat and just rest. Breathe nice and deep into your back. You will have felt that working in that last one. So I want you to make sure that you just breathe into it to relax it. Fabulous. And then come up onto your hands and knees. I'm going to get you to take your right leg forward. Hook it around so that your shin is facing the end of your mat. Lengthen the other leg out behind you. And then if you can, just come down to relax over that front leg. Now you want to be feeling that stretch in your right glutes. If you're feeling uncomfortable in the right knee, you can either roll over onto your glute a little, so less weight is in your knee, or you can get a cushion and prop it up, prop the knee up, I should say. Whatever works for you, okay? Draw the abs in and just let your upper body relax down as much as you can, and almost imagine the bones in your hip joints sinking down towards the floor. You want to think of your right hip pulling backwards towards the floor as your spine and crown of the head go forward towards the front of the mat. Now, as you do that, you might find your left leg gets a bit bunched up. So if you need to, reach it away just to make it a little bit more comfortable, and you'll create a little bit more length for a better stretch. Fabulous. Take another breath there. And then draw the abs in, draw the pelvic floor up, and just come back up. Pop your hands shoulder width apart, tuck your back toe under, and then come up into a plank. Fabulous. Draw the abs in, and you're bringing the left leg forward in between your hands. Right leg's out straight. So again, just get into a comfortable position for you, and then walk your arms down. I usually find when you first get into a glute stretch, you feel obviously tight, but you feel like everything's up a little bit away from the floor. And if you just give yourself a little bit of time to relax into it and find the right positioning for yourself, you'll find that your hip is able to come down towards the floor more. You'll be able to lengthen the legs away from each other, and it will be a lot more comfortable. So just take a few deep breaths, drawing the abs in. If you need to roll over towards the glutes a little bit more, and then just reach your right leg away a little bit further. Fabulous. So you're thinking of your left hip this time pulling down into the mat, and then head, shoulders, collarbones reaching forward towards the wall or whatever is in front of you. Breathe nice and deep into your back of your ribs. And always remember, when you're stretching, you're still actually able to work your abs and pelvic floor. So try and draw in through the abs as you exhale, up through the pelvic floor, and you'll find your upper body will have more space to come down towards the floor, and your back will be supported better as you're stretching. Just a couple more breaths there. Brilliant. And then just bring your hands again underneath your shoulders. Tuck your back toes under, come into a plank position, draw the abs in, and then come up with your tailbone towards the ceiling for a downward dog. If you can bring your soles of your feet towards the floor, go for it. Draw the abs in, send the tailbone towards the ceiling, and think of pulling your triceps and armpits back toward your hips. Brilliant. Come back down onto your knees, and just a little cat-cow to finish off as we started. So you should feel now that your glutes are nice and warm. In fact, your whole body should be warmer. And I always feel when you work your glutes, you feel you've worked out well. And last one. Okie doke. Any questions, let me know. I have no idea how long that was. I forgot to time myself. So I reckon it was maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Questions, let me know. Otherwise, fingers crossed we'll all see you later on and through the weekend. Bye.